Hi, my name is Ellie. I'm a physiotherapist here at Swan Physio, and today we're going to be going through a network Pilates class with a strong focus on mobility. So this is perfect if you have been working from home over the past 3 months in lockdown and are just starting to get back into the gym or back into your normal routine. It's great for the school-aged kids who have been sitting down at their desk, haven't been getting out to school, haven't been as active as they would like. So it's a great all-round mobility class today. So to get started, we're going to be lying on our mats to start into our pelvic clock. So if you've been following on with our exercises for the past few weeks, you'll know that the pelvic clock is starting lying down on your mat, knees bent up, and you can either have your hands resting by your side, or you can help guide your pelvis with your hands. So you want to imagine that your pelvis is a clock. 12 o'clock is up towards your belly button, 6 o'clock is down towards your pubic bone. So what you want to do is you roll through your pelvis up to 12 o'clock, flattening the lower back, and then roll down to 6 o'clock towards your pubic bone, creating an arch in the lower back. So we're going to go through that again, rolling, flattening the lower back up to 12, and rolling down to 6 o'clock, forming an arch in the lower back. Let's go through a few more of those for me. Just getting nice and warmed up, getting those hips moving. Get those hips moving, ready for post-lockdown dance floors. Rolling from 6 up to 12, back down to 6. Let's go for 3 more there. Up to 12, down to 6, that's 1. Up to 12, down to 6, that's 2. Last one there. And 3. So that's 1 part of the clock done. We've got 3 and 9. So you're going to imagine that your left hip is 3. I want you to lower that left hip down towards the floor as that right hip lifts up towards the ceiling. As if you've got 2 puppet strings on your hip bones and someone is lifting up one string of the hip. Rocking back and forth like a seesaw. Lifting up that left hip, lowering down through the right, and then swapping sides, lifting through the right, lower through the left. If you need to, use those hands to guide the movement. I want you to be rolling from one bottom to the other. You should feel nice and comfortable. Push through your heels to help with the lift. Let's go for 3 there. That's 1. A little bit faster. That's 2. Last one. And 3. Alright, to get warmed up, we're going to complete 5 pelvic clocks one way, 5 pelvic clocks the other. So let's go clockwise, so lower the hip up to 12, lower the other hip down to 6. Kneading through that pizza dough. Making sure it's a nice even circle, so you want to get all edges coming through. Once you've done 5 one way, I want you to go 5 in the opposite direction, so 5 anti-clockwise. Bring out that inner Shakira. Those hips don't lie. Last one. And resting there. Alright, from here we're going to go into our dead bug. So same starting position as your pelvic clock. Hands resting by your side. Imagining that you've got 2 helium balloons attached to your knees. And you're going to float one leg up into tabletop. And then imagine that helium balloon is deflating and you float that leg down. We want to see a nice 90 degree at the knee and maintaining that 90 degrees as you float the leg up and float it back down. quiet in the tummy. All that should be moving is that leg, folding at the pelvis as you rise and unfolding as you lower. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. 1. Coming back down, resting that leg down. Swapping sides for me, so imagining that helium balloons floating that leg up to the ceiling. And then it's deflating as you lower back down. Folding at the hip. And then allowing it to extend out. Nice and quiet through the hip bones, through the pelvis, through the lower back. Just letting that leg do all the work for you. Use this time to find your breathing. Breathe in as you float the leg up. Breathe out as you float down. If that's challenging, reverse it. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. Find what works best for you and what you're comfortable working with. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one here, and 1. Rest that leg down. Alright, we're going to go into our femur arcs. So for this one, it's the reverse of our dead bug. So you're going to start in tabletop. Imagine that your spine is Velcro, and you want all parts of your spine to be Velcroed to the mat. So if you need to adjust like I did, to find where you're comfortable so that you're not arching through that lower back, do that now. Arms resting by your side. We're just going to go for 5 heel taps on each leg. So you float one leg down, touch the floor, come back up. That's 1. 2. Imagining that spine is Velcro, so it's not lifting up from the mat as you lower. 1 more here. Good. Alright, let's swap sides. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1. Float the legs back down and allow them to rest. Alright, let's get straight into it from here. We're going to go into a bent knee opening. So starting in your pelvic clock position, knees bent, feet flat, hip width apart, arms resting by your side. From here, allow one leg to fall out to the side as low as you can go before that hip, that stabilizing hip, has to lift. So we want very minimal movement in the pelvis to allow the hip to fold out to the side before your other hip lifts, and then bring it back up. Breathe in as you lower that knee down towards the floor. Breathe out to help yourself bring it back up. Let's go again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathing in as you lower. Breathe out. Let's go for 5 on the other side. That's 1. If you can see, this side of my hip isn't moving. It's staying super glued to my mat. I don't want to see any rocking. So keep your hips super glued down to your mat as you allow one leg to fall out to the side. You should feel a nice stretch through the inner thigh muscles. You might feel one side more than the other, that's alright. Last one here. And coming back up. If you're comfortable there, stay with that position. Otherwise, bring your legs up onto tabletop From here, you're going to fall one leg out and then bring it back up. Again, we're not moving that pelvis. All of the movement is coming from the leg. Keeping a nice 90-degree angle at the knee as you lower it down and come back up. Now you can see that I'm quite tight through my inner thigh as my knee doesn't want to go any further towards the floor before my hip starts to lift, and that's okay. This class is all about mobility, so we're getting those muscles stretched and we're getting those bones moving. So swapping to the other side. Three, two more to go on that side. 4, and the last one here. 5. Good, floating those legs back down one at a time. Alright, we're going to transition into our side lift. So we did this last week. You're going to be lying on your side, elbow just a little bit further out from your shoulder, and you can either go into the split stance where one foot is in front of the other, or stacking both feet on top of the other. From here, arm is either resting on your hip or just by your side, and you're going to go up into a side plank. From here, resting on that bottom ankle, you're going to lift up the top leg and the top arm. So lift, come down, lower. We're going to go through 6 of those. So that was 1, 2, pressing up through the elbow, 3, 4, 5, one more on this side, and 6. Alright, swapping sides for me. Remember, elbow just in front of the shoulder. You can either have your legs split, one in front of the other, or stacked on top. If you need to for balance to help yourself up, plant the hand, come up, then move the arm on top of the thigh. We'll go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last one, and 6. Good, resting there. From here we're going to go into our mermaid. So, you're going to bring your left leg parallel to your mat. Right leg comes behind perpendicular to the mat. So in what we call a Z sit. If this is too uncomfortable for you, sitting in our butterfly sit or cross-legged is fine. Or what you can do is place a block under your left hip to prop you up a bit. So left leg parallel to the front of your mat, right leg perpendicular. Sitting up nice and tall as if someone is pulling you up from the head towards the ceiling, arms outstretched to your side, again as if someone's trying to pull you out and stretch your arms long. You're going to plant your left hand down on the mat, breathe in as that right hand arches over. You should feel a nice stretch. Imagine that your ribs are a slinky, as if that slinky is coming down the stairs and it's stretching out. So really reach as much as you can through that right hand. You're going to bring that right hand back, lift the left, plant the right hand and come over towards your right with that left arm. Imagining your ribs as that slinky. Left hand comes over, right hand lifts, reaches over towards that left side. I want you to imagine that you're stuck between 2 panes of glass and you can't move forward or backwards. You need to stay nice and still between those 2 panes. Coming up. This time as you reach reach over with that right hand, curl under and thread that needle. Look towards what's behind you. Bring yourself up and come back over. We're going to stay on that left side, plant the left hand, right arm reaches over, thread the needle, look behind you. Right hand comes up, sitting up tall, we've got one more on this side. Plant the left hand, reach the right hand overhead, thread the needle. Coming back, sitting up tall. Alright, let's swap those legs around. Right leg comes to the front, left leg behind. Sitting up tall, someone is pulling your head up, stretching out those arms nice and long. Show me what your wingspan's like. Pull out the right hand, reach the left over, and thread the needle. Come back up, and then sitting up tall. Let's go again, plant the right, reach the left over, come under. The left hand comes up, sitting up tall. Last one, right hand down, left hand overhead. Imagine that slinky stretching through that coil. Reach the hand under, thread that needle. Look towards what's behind you. Coming up, sitting up tall. From here we're going to go into our quadruped. So if you remember this from a few weeks ago, you start on all fours. Wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips, so they should be hip width apart. From here, we're going to start with the arms. Right hand reaches nice out to the front, slides back in. Left hand reaches towards your mat, comes back in. Let's go again. Imagine that you've got 2 cups of hot tea and they're sitting on your pelvis. And you don't want to spill those cups of hot tea, so you don't want too much movement going on in that pelvis. Let's go for one more round each hand. Drawing your belly button towards your spine as you're doing this for a bit of core activation. Alright, from here we're going to add a lift. So you reach that right hand long. Once you get as far as you can, lift it up nice and straight. Lower it back down and bring it back in. We're going to go on the left, reach that left hand nice and long. Once you can't go any further, lift up. Try and reach the wall in front of you. Lower it back down and slide it back in. Reach the right hand long, reach forward, lower down, slide it back in. Keep that belly button drawn towards your spine. Let's go for one more round with the arms. Remembering those hot cups of tea. Trying not to spill it. And back down. Alright, resting there. From here, reset. Alright, we're going to be going through the legs this time. So, right leg reaches down towards the mat. No lift yet, slide it back in. Swap sides, left leg, slide it back long. Slide it back in. This time you've got champagne flutes, resting on your shoulder blades. Try not to spill that champagne as you slide your legs along the mat. Keeping that belly button drawn towards your spine. Last round on the left leg. Alright, this time we add the lift, slide the right leg back as far as you can. Straighten, lift, come back down, slide back in. Slide your left leg out, lift, coming back in, slide it in. I shouldn't see too much of a lift here, otherwise you start to activate that lower back. So it's just a gentle lift, lower, slide. Lift, lower, slide. One more round. Lift, lower, slide, left leg, lift, lower, slide. Alright, have a rest there. If you're comfortable with that, stick with just the arms or just the legs. If you're up for more of a challenge, we're going to alternate. One leg, one arm at a time. So we're going to start right arm, left leg. Slide the right arm as far as it can go, the left leg as far as it can go. Add your lift, lower, slide back in. Let's swap sides. Slide the left hand as far as it can go, the right leg as far, lift, lower, come back in. Right hand, left leg, lift, lower, slide. Keep going, doing really well. Imagining your hot cups of tea and your champagne, you don't want to spill those. Keeping that belly button drawn towards your spine. Doing really well. Last round each side. Right hand, left leg, slide, lift, lower, slide back in, slide, lift, lower, slide back in. Having a rest there. Alright, from here we're going to go into our extensions. So, lying on your tummy, hands next to your shoulders, elbows facing down towards your heels. So this is what we call the grasshopper legs. Alright, from here, you're going to imagine that marble rolling along your mat towards the wall. You're following that marble as it's rolling up, pushing through your hands all the way up to your lower ribs. And then coming back down, following that marble back under your nose. So it's only a little bit of movement, but you should get nice mobility through your upper back. Imagine that you've got a torch on your breastbone, and as you come up, you want to shine that torch towards the wall. And then shine that torch down towards your mat as you come back down. Pushing through the hands, try and slide those hands away from you as you come up. Coming back down. Right, from here we're going to go into the full swan. So same position as your prone extensions. Coming up as you were. This time go past the lower ribs, straighten through the elbows. And then lower back down. We're going for 5 here, so that's 1. Push the mat away. Lift through the chest, straighten the elbows. Coming back down, that's 2. Follow that marble along towards the wall. Straighten through the elbows. That's 3. 4. Last one. Pushing that mat away. And 5. Alright, this time we're going to go into our scarecrow. So, resting your head to one side as you get the movement. You're going to have your hands in a capital E position. So, they're resting on your mat like this. So resting your head to one side, arms in a capital E position, legs nice and long. From here, I want you to lift up your forearm and your hand while keeping your elbow on the ground. So lift up and then come back down. Lift up, come back down. You shouldn't get a great deal of movement here. Just a little lift. Keeping the hand and the forearm in one line. Imagine that you've got a cast on, you've broken your wrist, you've got a big plaster cast on, and you don't have much movement in the arm and in the hand. It stays as one. As you lift, come back down. This time lifting up, raise the elbow, hand up, elbow down, hand down. Let's go for 2 more of those. Hand up, elbow down, and down. This time we're going to add in that prone extension like you just did, so that press up. So you're going to be looking down at your mat, hovering your nose just off of your mat. You're going to go hand up, elbow up, shine that breastbone, roll down, elbow down, hand down. Let's go again. Hover the nose. Hand up, elbow up, chest down, elbow down, hand down. We'll go for 2 more. Hand up, elbows up, shine that breastbone towards the wall in front of you. Breastbone comes down, elbows come down, hands. Let's go for 1 more. Hands up, elbows up, shine the breastbone to the wall, breastbone comes down, elbows come down, hands down. Alright, from here, we're going to go into a prone heel beat. So you're going to have your hands in front of you, forehead resting on your hands. I want you to reach your legs long. So try and reach the wall behind you. Try and touch it with your toes. So I want you to reach those toes nice and long, stretching out through those legs. From here, lift up one leg, lower back down, lift up the other leg, lower back down. Keep your pelvis in contact with the floor, with your mat at all times. I don't want any lifting. So keep those hip bones in contact with the mat. As you lift one leg, lower it, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. If you're comfortable with this, stay here. Otherwise, we're going to add in some heel beats. So lift both legs at the same time. Tap your heels together twice. 1, 2, lower. This is a great glute workout. Lift both legs, tap the heels together twice. 1, 2, lower. Lift both legs, tap the heels. 1, 2, lower. Lift, tap. 1, 2, come back down. Alright, this time we're going for 10 heel taps. So stretch the legs long, lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Alright, let's up that to 20 this time. Stretch the legs long, lift them up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower back down. We've got 1 more round of 10. Lift the legs, 10 heel taps. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower down. Good job. Alright, from here we're going to go into a single leg kick. So same position, forehead resting on your hands, stretch the legs long. You're going to bend your right knee, kick your bottom twice. 1, 2, stretch long, lift, lower. I'll demonstrate that again. Bend the right knee. Kick your bottom twice. 1, 2. Stretch and lift the leg. Lower back down. We're going for 5 on each side. Kick your bottom twice. 1, 2. Stretch, lift and lower. That's 3. 1, 2. Stretch, lift, lower. 1, 2. Stretch, lift, lower. Alright, 5 on the other side. Let's go. 1, 2, stretch, lift, lower. 1, 2, stretch, lift, lower. That's 3, 4, 5. Alright, we're going to go into the double leg kick. This time, interlace your hands behind your back and
Your head is going to be turned to one side. If this is too hard for you, stay on the single leg kick which we just performed. From here, you're going to perform a double leg kick. So both knees are going to bend. Kick your bottom twice. Lift. Stretch the arms back, look forward. As you lower, turn your head to the other side. It's a double leg kick. Extend. Turn the head. Double leg kick. Reach those legs long. Reach the arms long behind you. Squeeze between your shoulder blades as the breastbone lifts off the mat. Turn to the other side. Kick the legs twice. Stretch them out. Come to the other. Kick twice. Stretch. Lower. Kick twice. Stretch. Lower. Kick twice. Stretch. Lower. Last one. Kick twice. Stretch. And lower down. Good job. Alright, from here we're going to go into a swimming. So, arms reaching out in front. Eye gaze is down towards your mat. Nose hovering off your mat. Stretch your legs long, like we did at the start with those kicks. From here, we're going to alternate. Right arm lifts off the mat as our left leg lifts. So it's a right arm, left leg, down. Left arm, right leg, down. Right arm, left leg, down. Pointing those toes. Try and reach the ceiling in front of you with your hands. And the wall in front of you with your hands. And the wall behind you with your feet. So I want you to imagine someone's pulling your arms and legs as you lift and lower. Alright, from here we're going to up the pace. So imagine that you're swimming in a lane, you're in a race. Alright, I'm going to count that beat for you. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and back down. Alright. Let's go again. Alright, right hand, left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Bring your hands back in, rest the head down. Alright, from here I'm going to get you back onto your back for me. So, lying down on your back, we're going to go into a single straight leg stretch. So, from here, bring your knees towards your chest. With your right leg, I want you to straighten it as much as you can. And you can see that my hamstrings are quite tight today because my leg doesn't want to straighten out as much. Both hands resting on either the calf or, if you can reach, your ankle. Left leg down towards your mat, just hovering off the mat. You're going to come up into a chest lift position. So breathe in. As you breathe out, peel the head, neck and shoulders off. From here, as you maintain your chest lift, you're going to scissor the legs. You should feel a nice stretch through your hamstrings. Scissor the legs. Maintain that chest lift. And try and straighten that leg back a little bit more each time you hold on. Breathe in here, breathe out as you scissor. Breathe in. Breathe in. Alright, this time we're going to up the pace. We're going to scissor for 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out. So, Knees to chest. Right leg comes as straight as you can. Both hands wrapped around the calf or the ankle. Left leg extending long. Go into your chest lift, peeling head, neck and shoulders up. Alright, from here we're going to breathe in for 4. And then out for 4. Breathe in. Knees to chest, coming back down, have a rest. Alright, once you're comfortable with your breathing pattern, however is comfortable for you, we're going to up that and we're going to go for 20 scissors and we're going to pick up that pace. Alright, right leg long, hands on the calf, left leg long, into that chest lift. We've got 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees to chest, coming back down. Almost there. From here, we're going to go into our spine stretch. So if you remember your assisted roll-up, you can help yourself to get up. Hands behind your legs that are in tabletop. Breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, peel the head, neck and shoulders off. Push your knees into your hands into your legs, legs into hands as you roll up. Sitting up nice and tall. From here, legs come straight. If your hamstrings are tight, like mine are, soft bend in the knee is fine, or prop yourself up on a box, or put a couple of towels or a pillow underneath your bottom, and that will reduce that strain on the hamstrings. From here, legs are hip width apart, arms resting in front, eye gaze follows. You're going to nod like our standing roll down. You're going to nod the head, and then roll from the mid back, lower back, onto the pelvis. And then you're going to stack your vertebrae back up one at a time. Coming back up. Alright, let's go again. Nod the head, neck, shoulders, mid back, lower back, rolling the pelvis. From here, roll the pelvis first, go through the lower back, mid back, finishing up, looking forward. Alright, coming down, reaching long, coming back up, nice and tall. You should be able to get a little bit further each time. Let's go for 2 more here. And last one there. Alright, 2 more exercises to go, both standing up. Your first one, you should all know already because we finished with it each time, and it's our standing roll down. So if you've got a foam roller, place it just behind your bottom, otherwise using a wall. Feet just off the wall, so about 10 centimeters away from the wall. You can have your bottom, your upper back and your hands and your head resting against the wall. From here, I want you to nod the head down, looking towards your feet. Then you're going to round through the shoulders, heavy in the chest, going down through the mid back, the lower back, sliding your bottom up, back, trying to touch your toes. From here, roll the pelvis up first, through the lower back, mid back, and then finishing off, raising the head up. Let's go again. Nod the head, roll the shoulders, roll through the chest, mid back, lower back, down through the pelvis. Try and touch the floor if you can. From here, roll the pelvis first, coming all the way up to standing tall. I'm going to show you side on. Nod the head, roll the shoulders, go heavy in the chest, then roll the pelvis last, coming down. Hold here for a little bit, you should get a nice stretch. Alright, coming up through the pelvis, lower back, mid back. Looking straight ahead, let's go for one more here. Rolling all the way down, as far as you can. Enjoy a stretch down here. Maybe even sway side to side to deepen the stretch. And then come back up. One segment at a time. Alright, stay standing. We've got one last exercise. From here we're going to go into the standing balance. So, if you know you're a bit more wobbly when you stand on one leg, stand next to a wall that you can hold on to for balance, or use a chair or the kitchen counter, whatever you've got at home, as long as one hand can support you. If you know that you're a bit more unsteady, it'll be easier to do it on a firm surface, so it'll be harder on carpet or harder when you're wearing socks. So barefoot is my preference. From here, standing on your left leg, bring your right leg up. Both hands come under the thigh to support the leg. All you're going to do is straighten out that top leg as much as you can, and then bend it back in. So I'll show you side on. You're folding at the hip. Arms come under to support the leg. And you can see I'm a bit wobbly. You straighten that leg, bend, and we're going to go for 5 on each side. 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. Coming back down. We're going to go 5 on the other side. I'm a bit more wobbly on this side, so I might need the wall. Coming up. Alright, straightening that leg. Should feel a nice stretch through your hamstrings. So the back of the thigh. 2, 3, keep the hip nice and still. Try and not get too much movement at the hip. All of that movement should be coming just from the knee as you bend and straighten. Let's go for one more, I've lost count. And come back down. Alright, good job everybody. I know I say it every week, but that was a hard one, especially if you're a bit stiff after being at work all day or sitting at your desk. So it's a great way to improve your mobility, so keep up with that. If you want to go through any of those exercises again, just hit pause and replay those. Focus on the ones that you find challenging. That's my biggest tip. You won't